Hey everybody, I hope you're busy working on your mythical creatures, but I wanted to make a bonus video for you. We're going to make a mythical creature out of some origami. So to make origami you need paper. You can use any kind of paper. This is what origami paper looks like. It usually has a color on one side and it's white on the other side. But sometimes this can be hard to find. So you can also use things like wrapping paper or pretty pages out of a magazine, or you can even just use regular old notebook paper and you could decorate it or color on it once you're done making your origami. But the most important thing about origami paper is that it has to be a square usually when you start making your project. So I'm going to show you how to turn a piece of paper that's a rectangle like this into a square. Now if you're using notebook paper or if you're using magazine pages that you tore out of an old magazine, it might have this funky edge on it, or it might have this with the holes, which you might not want. So what you may want to do first is to cut off the edges with some scissors so you don't have holes in your paper. So I'm going to do that. Okay, then you're going to take this. It's a rectangle. We need it to be a square. So I'm going to take this corner. I'm going to take this top edge and put it along the side like that. Make sure that it comes to a point and that the edges are touching. Once you have it folded like that, you can fold it really well with your finger. Make sure it's folded really sharp. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take this and cut off this extra part right here. So if you cut that right along the side, it will give you a square. If you open it back up, it will be a perfect square. Pretty close. Doesn't have to be perfect, but close enough. But for our mythical creature, we're going to use some origami paper. Our mythical creature is going to be in two parts. Remember, because we were smashing together two animals. So I'm going to use this smaller piece to make the head, and I'm going to use this larger piece to make the body. So I'll put this aside for right now. We're going to make our head first. So what we need to do, turn this paper on the back or the side that you don't want to show when it's all done. If you're using a magazine page and you like this side's the pretty side, you want to start on the side that you don't want to show at the end. So I'm going to start on the white side, and I'm going to fold my paper from a square into a diamond by taking this point and putting them together until they match. And I'm going to hold it down and I'm going to fold it really good. You want to press it. Sometimes you might want to pick it up and pinch it like that. Okay? Then I'm going to take my triangle. I'm going to fold it in half. So I'm going to take this corner over there. Make sure it's touching. Make sure it's nice and straight. Fold it really well. It doesn't have to be perfect. As you can see, mine is a little bit off. That's okay. It's going to work no matter what. So then we're going to open it back up. Okay. Now, this part's a little tricky. I'm going to draw a line so you can see where my fold was in the middle of my paper, because we have to take these corners and match them up at the top and fold this to be sticking out like this. So I'm going to put my finger right here to hold my paper down, and I'm going to fold it so it's going off at kind of a funny angle and make it sort of crooked. So I'm going to go like that. I'm going to hold it in place and fold it. Okay, then I'm going to take the same thing on the other side, fold it so it's sticking out kind of a funny angle, hold it down with my fingers, and fold it really tight. Okay, so there we go. And I might want to adjust this one because I want them to look kind of the same. So if they're not the same, kind of fix them until they look pretty close to the same. Then the last thing I'm going to do is take this pointy part and fold it down like this. Okay, so there, make sure you fold it really good. Sometimes if I'm having trouble folding it really good, I take something like a marker or a pencil and I use the marker or the pencil to really fold my folds really well. Kind of saves you from having to do it with your fingers so much. Okay, so there's that. That's what we did. Now I'm going to flip it over and guess what animal it's going to be. I'm going to draw some eyes and a nose and a little smile and some whiskers. So we made a cat face. Okay, so we're going to put our cat face off to the side for a minute. So that's one half of our mythical creature is a cat. And now I'm going to take this other piece of paper. It's a little bit bigger. It's blue, bluish green instead of pink. Okay, so we're going to start the same way we did with this one. We're going to turn it over on the side that we don't want to show for our final project. Okay, so we're turning it over on the blank side or the boring side if you're using a magazine page. Then we're going to fold it into a diamond like we did. Okay, so I'm going to take this corner down there, make sure that it's touching, make sure the sides are lined up. Move over, kitty. And then I'm going to fold it really good. And remember, you can use your marker or your pencil to help you. Fold it really good. Okay? Now this time, we're actually going to, once we fold that, we're going to open it back up. Okay? And I'm going to make a mark so you guys can see my fold that we made down the middle of our square that we turned into a triangle for a second. Okay, there's my fold. Now what I have to do is to fold this into kind of a kite shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this corner, okay, and I'm going to bring it down so that this long side meets up with our fold. So I'm going to go like that, okay. Make sure it's lined up. Make sure that's nice and pointy. I'm going to hold it down. I'm going to fold it with my fingers. And I'm going to use my pen to make sure it's really folded. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing to the bottom. So you can watch again. I'm going to take this long side. I'm going to bring it up to the middle, right where I drew my dotted line. I'm going to make sure that's nice and pointy. And I'm going to fold it really good. Okay, not too bad. Okay, now next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this part. Actually, what I'm going to do is fold this part to meet up with my curve too, like that. Okay. Like that, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to bring this side to the middle, make sure it's nice and pointy, make sure it's nice and folded. Use my marker to press down my folds really well. And there we go. Now it's kind of a kite shape. Okay, now the next thing, we're going to take this point. I'm going to draw a dot here so you guys can see a little better where I'm going to put this point. Bring this point back to this dot, and I'm going to crush that down. Now it's getting hard to fold because there's going to be lots of layers of paper, so this is where your pen or your pencil really comes in handy to help fold all those layers of paper. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this, I'm going to take my scissors, and you can see if you open this up a little bit, there's these two halves. I'm going to take my scissors and cut right in the middle between my two halves just a little ways up, okay? So that I've got, instead of one big thing, I've got two little flippy things. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick one of these halves up and pull it out this way and fold it down so it sticks out at kind of a funny angle. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. They can be different angles. It doesn't matter. You can make it higher, you can make it lower. It's gonna look neat either way, okay? Now, can you tell what we made? It's gonna be a fish body. So we're making a mercat. So what we wanna do is we're gonna take some glue. Now, a lot of times in origami you don't use glue, but because we're putting two pieces together, we're gonna use a little bit of glue. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some glue underneath this triangle to make that stick down like that. I'm gonna hold it, count to 10, okay? Then I'm gonna flip my fish body over and I'm gonna put a little bit of glue right at the top, okay? And then I'm gonna put I'm gonna decide which way I want my cat face to go. I'm gonna put him at a little bit of a silly angle. I'm gonna hold it down and count to 10 in my head. And there we go. Mercat. Ta-da! Now if you have markers or crayons and you want to add maybe some scales to your fish body, you could do that. It's up to you, however you want to finish off your origami mythical creature. So I hope everybody is having fun doing their different art challenges. I can't wait to see what you come up with. If you decide to try and make this mercat, even though it's a little bit challenging, I would love to see it. If you do a good job, upload it to Class Dojo and show me what you've come up with. So have fun, and I will be sending out a new art challenge on Wednesday. Good luck and have fun. Bye.